You've packed up your stuff, you've sold your house, and moved to what you thought was your dream city. Maybe it looked great on Instagram, maybe a realtor told you it was up and coming. So you move. Now you're stuck in a town that smells like broken promises and cheap beer. Welcome to the 10 US cities where moving there was a big mistake. These are the cities that lure you in with charm, sunshine, and low home prices. Then they sucker punch you with things like high crime rates, sky-high rent, and a job market that makes the Great Depression look like a career fair. Whether it's crumbling infrastructure, soul-crushing commutes, or the kind of quirky locals that make you miss your HOA. These places have one thing in common. A whole lot of people regret ever unpacking. If you're thinking about relocating, you might want to keep that moving truck idling while you watch this video. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Kingman, Arizona. Dry heat and drier dreams. Kingman gets sold to retirees like it's a gateway to Arizona paradise, low taxes, desert sunsets, and Route 66 nostalgia. What you do get is an endless buffet of broken air conditioners, dollar store strip malls, and a suspicious amount of expired canned goods at local grocery stores. Yes, it's cheap to live here, but there's a reason for that. No one with any money wants to stay. Healthcare? Well, you got the Kingman Regional Medical Center, which is only about 10 minutes away from downtown Kingman. But if you need anything else, you're gonna have to go to Phoenix, which is like 3 hours away, or maybe Las Vegas, which is about an hour and a half away. Not saying their service is bad or anything like that. I'm sure they have great people, they get great scores. It's just access. How far do you have to go, and how many people are actually using the medical center you wanna go to? And while Kingman sounds historic, the historic downtown is more of a half-empty stretch where tumbleweeds do most of the business. If you're retiring here for peace and quiet, you'll definitely get the quiet part because there's not much else going on. The occasional Air Force jet flying overhead. Kingman's crime rates aren't astronomical, but they're not great either. Their total crime rate is 35% above the national average, and like I've said before on this channel, that's not terrible. There's cities in this country that have crime rates that are 300 and 400% above the national average. The good news that is true about the place, the cost of living's low and so is the housing. That low cost of living is bringing in some unsavory types. They've got a transient population, a drug problem that won't quit, and summer's hot enough to melt your shoes. All that is a recipe for regret. People come here to escape high cost and end up feeling like they escaped civilization altogether. Number 9, Brownsville, Texas, where the sun is hot and the regret is hotter. Brownsville often gets advertised as an affordable Gulf Coast escape. And sure, you could buy a house here for less than a decent used car, but you'll pay for it in other ways. The humidity here is like being slow roasted in a sauna that smells vaguely of mildew and sadness. The insects, they come at you like they're unionized. Retirees show up here expecting charming coastal vibes and friendly border town hospitality. What they get is an infrastructure system held together with duct tape, limited medical options, and a city that seems confused about whether it's growing or decaying. It's caught between a historic destination and a budget afterthought. Crime and poverty rates in Brownsville are consistently among the highest in the state. Combine that with minimal public transportation, underfunded services, and summer temperatures that always seem to be flirting with 100 degrees. Suddenly, Boca Raton doesn't seem so bad, even with the HOA fees and retired mobsters. Number 8, Bakersfield, California, the retirement plan for people who hate themselves. Welcome to Bakersfield, where your golden years are guaranteed to be dusty, smoggy, and full of bad decisions. The cost of living may be cheaper than coastal California. Bakersfield is where retirees go when they've been priced out of literally every other place in the state. It's the city equivalent of a gas station microwave burrito. Technically it's food, but deeply unsatisfying. The local culture is a strange mix of oil workers, cowboys, and people who swear they're moving to Idaho any day now. And while crime isn't sky high, it's high enough that you'll think twice about those evening strolls. Healthcare options are hit and miss. And that Central Valley sunshine quickly turns into a heat wave nightmare come July. Regret level, extra crispy. Number 7, Shreveport, Louisiana. Retirement in a slow motion breakdown. Shreveport looks good on paper, cheap housing, southern charm, and just enough culture to make it seem interesting. But the reality? It's like watching a town try and keep its chin up while everything falls apart around it. The roads are pothole obstacle courses, and the city's finances look like someone's kid was doing the budget as a school project. The healthcare situation isn't the worst in the country, but you'll definitely want to have a reliable car and a backup plan. Crime is high, infrastructure is crumbling, and half the businesses look like they're one bad month away from closing for good. It's not so much retirement, it's more like survival with coupons. When you look at all the stats of this place, they're all bad but two, and when these are the only two good stats you got, it's because the other ones are that bad. The cost of living here is well below the national average, and the same thing with housing prices. The average home value here is $129,000, and the crime rate's 139% above the national average. And it has one other bright spot, the food scene. Louisiana always delivers in that department, but it's hard to enjoy gumbo when you're dodging sketchy neighborhoods just to find a decent grocery store. A lot of people move here thinking they're getting a budget-friendly New Orleans experience. They're not. You're getting a budget-friendly demolition derby with more humidity. Number 6, Modesto, California. Welcome to budget purgatory. If you've ever dreamed about spending your retirement trapped in a Walmart parking lot with bad air quality, Modesto might be what you're looking for. Modesto is in the Central Valley, and it is notorious for being one of the hottest places in California during the summer and has some of the worst air quality. For some reason, people still move there. They're expecting affordable California. What they get is a DMV line that never ends and Taco Bells on every corner. Modesto has big suburb energy with small town frustrations. There's no beach, no mountains, no real there. The crime rate is high enough to make retirees double check their door locks at noon. The city also ranks poorly for walkability and public services, so unless you plan to Uber your way everywhere in your golden years, you're going to be out of luck. Healthcare is available, but good luck getting a same-week appointment without a miracle or a bribe. The air quality from nearby agriculture and industry is so thick you could practically chew it. Retirees often leave saying it was cheaper than San Diego, but they forgot to mention it was also gloomier, hotter, and someone forgot to finish building the place. Number 5, Memphis, Tennessee. The blues hit different when you live here. Memphis has soul, history, and some of the best barbecue on the planet. But for retirees, it's less walking in Memphis and more like lock your doors and call 911 every single day. The city has one of the highest violent crime rates in the country. That includes carjackings, home invasion, and more break-ins than Elvis had hit records by noon every day. Yeah, this one is a no-brainer. Everyone who's paid attention to the news or watched this channel long enough knows you should not go to visit Memphis. I mean, if you're going to Beale Street, great. Go to Beale Street, get off Beale Street, get on a plane, go home. Don't wander into the neighborhoods. It's not going to end well. Their total crime rate is 392% above the national average, and their violent crime rate is 618% above the national average. It's like they're trying to win a competition or something. It is affordable, I'll give them that, but once you move in, you'll notice that your neighbors are either incredibly kind or incredibly loud. Sometimes both at once. Infrastructure is patchy, public transit is laughable, and the roads look like they were paved when Elvis was still alive. That's enough Elvis jokes. I'm moving on. Number 4, Pueblo, Colorado. High desert, low expectations. Now, a couple months ago, I did tell people they should move here in retirement because it is affordable. But if that's all you're looking for, great, it fits that bill. But if you're looking for a nice, quiet Colorado place to live, yeah, it doesn't deliver. Pueblo is what happens when people want the Colorado lifestyle without the Denver or Boulder prices and end up with none of the charm. It's hot, dry, and has that industrial vibe everywhere. You get into town, you'll wonder if you're supposed to be living there or clocking in for a factory shift. That closed 20 years ago. The crime rate here is kind of rough. The total crime rate's 207% above the national average, and their violent crime is 305% above the national average. Now, one of their biggest problems is domestic violence. It's not as much the carjackings and robberies and mugging type stuff. Those do happen, but most of their violent crime seems to come from domestic violence. And the local government keeps promising a turnaround. Many retirees are still waiting for the renaissance that was supposed to happen sometime during the Obama administration. You'll find a nice riverwalk and a few solid restaurants, but overall, it feels like a town that gave up on trying to impress anyone long ago. You get all that, plus subpar access to healthcare, increasing drug-related crimes, and a general sense that you're slightly too far away from anything cool. It's no wonder retirees are packing up and leaving. Now, like I was saying, their crime rate is up there. It's 207% above the national average, and their violent crime rate is 305% above the national average. That's nuts. Number 3, Ocala, Florida, where golf carts go to die. On paper, Ocala looks like a retirement dream. Horse country, sunny weather, and affordable homes in sprawling gated communities. In reality, it's Florida without the beach or much charm. You're hours away from anything interesting, stuck in a swampy bubble of chain restaurants, HOA drama, and residents who peak during water aerobics. Medical care is plentiful but uneven. Some facilities are great while others feel like they're designed by someone who learned medicine from a YouTube video. Ocala is growing fast, but infrastructure isn't keeping up, meaning traffic is a mess and services are stretched thin. And yes, there are alligators, always alligators. Crime is rising, especially in property crime, and the weather flips from sunshine to soul-sucking humidity without warning. Many retirees say that the isolation gets to them and that the only people they ever see are the people they golf with. Number 2, Birmingham, Alabama, a city in constant rebuild mode. Birmingham is a city with a complicated past and a present that still hasn't quite figured itself out yet. It's cheap, which lures in retirees looking to make their dollar stretch a little bit further. But once they unpack the U-Haul, they realize that the cost of savings comes with a few asterisks. Underfunded public services, crumbling infrastructure, and crime rates that keep the Ring doorbell one of the most popular retirement gifts. I mean, it is cheap, I'll give them that. The average home value here is $135,000. You could find homes to move in right now, probably need a little work, not falling down, for about $120,000. Downtown has tried to revitalize, and you'll hear the locals talk about the rebirth of Birmingham. That rebirth feels like it's stuck in labor. Lots of effort, very little delivery. Healthcare here is decent, especially with UAB Medical Center around. Getting an appointment, now that's a trick. Cultural gems like museums and great food can't always make up for the general wear and tear the city suffers from. Retirees show up expecting slow southern living and charm. What they get is a patchwork of a city in flux, where the grass grows fast and the potholes grow faster. It's like buying a fixer-upper and realizing you're too old to fix anything. All right, before we get to number 1, if this video dashed your dreams about moving to one of these cities and now you gotta look for another one, there's a website called Home and Money in the description area below. They can get you in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Deltona, Florida, retirement's worst kept secret. And finally, we arrive at the crown jewel of disappointment, Deltona, Florida. This master plan community between Orlando and Daytona was supposed to be Florida's affordable answer to the retirement dream. Here's the thing, it isn't. It's not near the beach, it's like 40 minutes away, and one of the beaches you can go to that's fairly close, like 35, 40 minutes away, is New Smyrna Beach, which is like the #1 place to get bit by a shark in the United States. Think it is still, at least. Disney World and Universal are all like an hour away, and it's really not near anything you'd want to do. The city's a sprawling maze of cul-de-sacs and cookie-cutter homes, but there's no real downtown, no central entertainment area, and not even a decent selection of restaurants. Retirees come expecting golf courses and country clubs. What they find is a 45-minute drive to the nearest fun thing to do. Crime is on the rise, especially petty theft and home burglaries. Medical care is okay if you're not in a rush, and the retirement communities are starting to feel more like a holding tank than a haven. Combine that with brutal summer heat, bugs everywhere, and the overall unfinished suburb vibe, and you've got yourself the unlimited place to regret retiring to. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.